before this video starts, if you guys are not yet already in my Discord server, I do highly recommend you come over and join. We are so close to 100,000 members. Right now we are at 80,000. And if all of you from this video, you know, my community, join, we can actually build something pretty good here. My goal actually is to hit 100,000 members before the end of the year. You know, we have giveaways in here, general chat, self-promotion. You guys can come here, promote yourself, and grow as one. I will leave the link in the description. Yo guys, what is going on? It's your boy Fxtch here, back with a brand new YouTube video. And in today's video, I'm going to be helping you guys fix all common issues and problems with Fortnite Performance Mode. Now, I've had a lot of burning questions and comments on my YouTube videos of people saying like they're having this issue, they're having that, they don't know how to do certain things, and they're just confused about Performance Mode. I'm going to be clearing everything up in this video, and any common issues you are getting, they'll be fixed in this video. I'm going to help you out. That's what I'm here to do. Now, if you go ahead to enjoy the video, this does help in any way, shape, or form. The least you can do for me is drop a like. Just hit that thumbs up button. It really does help out. It takes 2 seconds. These videos take hours to make, and it's one of the easiest things you can do to support this video and just me as a creator. If you want to go the extra mile, you can also subscribe to the channel with post notifications turned on. Therefore, you never miss an upload just like this one, our daily upload grind. Also, as you guys have probably noticed, I've just hit 70,000 subscribers on YouTube. Like literally right here, I've hit 70k subscribers. It really does mean the world to me. I want to thank each and every one of you who come to my channel, you support me. It just means the world. Like, I know it sounds cliche, but honestly, this has been a dream of mine for so long. And yeah, I don't think there's anything much more to say than thank you. In 5,000 more subscribers, so at 75k, I will be doing a face reveal. So yeah, we're getting really close to that. So getting straight into this, I'm sorry for the long intro. I wanted to promote my Discord. Also, thank you guys for 70k subscribers, because it does mean a lot. Like, I can't not thank you guys. So yeah, sometimes intros will be long. I'm sorry. I try and keep them as short as possible, but we are going to get straight into this now. And first of all, the reason I'm making this video, I've received a ton of comments, and one of them in particular, which now brings me on to actually my first fix here for one of the issues. It's going to be when you're selecting performance mode in your Fortnite settings, it is almost just not staying at the setting every time you're opening the game, or it's quote unquote disabling, or just simply resets itself back to either DirectX 11 or DirectX 12. I know this has been an issue for a ton of people. They can't keep it on performance mode, and I'm going to show you the fix for that now. So how you actually want to fix this, you want to be over on your desktop. As you can see, I'm here right now. What you want to do is go down to this little search bar, your Windows search, type in run, click on this run application, type in %local app data % like so. You then should get this window open up. You want to find Fortnite game, saved, config, Windows client, game user settings. You guys, I've probably been here like 1,000 times. You shouldn't have an issue getting to here, but once you're here, you want to right click, go to properties, where it says down in attributes, you want to untick read only, press apply, press OK. Now open this out, and now what you're gonna do is, it should be right at the top, find this user rendering API. Now it could say 1, it could say 0, it could say anything, but what you need to change it to is the number 2. That's it. Just literally that one number here after the equals, just put the number 2. After you've done that, kind of simple, you want to press file, save. You can now exit out of here. You want to right click this again, go to properties, down where it says attributes, you now want to actually re-enable this. So now tick this box, press apply, and press OK. Now the reason you are to re-enable this is so Fortnite doesn't force any changes or revert this change. It's probably one of the most important things you can do after changing it to the number 2. And the reason we changed it to number 2 is actually because rendering API number 2 is actually performance mode. I don't know why it's number 2, but that's what it is. Just changing this right here makes your game load directly on performance mode. And now the second issue, another thing I had a ton of comments about, and it's that your builds are looking different for some of you. So some of you have literally different builds, and what I mean by this is some of you will have straight mobile looking builds, so your builds will look completely cartoon, almost like one block color, kind of like Roblox. And then on the other hand, some of you have more bubble wrap looking builds, like they have some texture on but not a lot. Now the reason for this is because the way Fortnite have actually made this feature is that if you have 8 GB of RAM within your PC, you will get complete Fortnite builds, so worst looking builds. And for those who have more than 8 GB of RAM, so in my case I have 32, or even if you have something like 16 GB, you'll get these builds, you know, the ones that look like bubble wrap. It's kind of just how it works. It's all system dependent, meaning if you want to go from the super poor looking mobile builds, the only way to do so is to literally upgrade and buy more RAM, so then you have more than 8. And then on the flip side, if you want to go from the bubble wrap looking builds to a more mobile look, although it technically is possible, I wouldn't recommend you all to do so whatsoever. You know, I have seen a few videos around, and from what I've seen, it does require you to actually trick your system into thinking you have less RAM, so only 8 GB, which means your Fortnite will actively be running on less memory, as your PC is working that way to give you such builds if you are to successfully do it. And that I just don't recommend whatsoever, as not only is your Fortnite running on weaker specs, but also this can cause system-wide issues as well. You know, as I've already mentioned, Fortnite made this feature to work in this way and give lower end systems in some way worse looking graphics because they kind of need it just for their performance mode to be worth it. And of course, if you do have 16 gigabytes RAM, which is I guess for Fortnite technically a higher end build, it's not weaker hardware, you just don't need it. And I mean, I guess you could have it and it'll give you more performance, but in that case you'd have to make your PT have lower RAM, so it's just not worth it because you're lowering performance for better like it just doesn't weigh out. Fortnite have made this to work in this way to give lower end the same feel that someone with maybe 16 would get using performance mode. It kind of just balances out in a weird way. So if you have the bubble wrap looking builds or the mobile builds, don't worry, you're meant to have them. And now what I think is the third issue we're going to mention in today's video is that I've heard you guys are experiencing unloaded textures and seeing invisible builds when using performance mode. Like literally walls being there physically but not visually, like it's really weird. Now this could be because of two things. Either you need to go into your Fortnite and set your textures to a higher setting, therefore you're putting more stress onto your game, in turn making your GPU need to work a little harder, hopefully giving it that push to now render these unloaded textures and stop these builds from being invisible. I know it sounds kind of crazy and a lot of you will be scared to move from like those low settings, but trust me, if it's what it takes to stop this issue, it's something you'll have to do. And also there really isn't much to worry about. As long as you're not setting your textures all the way to epic, you should not see much FPS decrease at all. Personally, I'd recommend testing out either medium or high textures, preferably both, just to see what works best. You know, if medium does a job, keep it at that, and if it doesn't, then try high instead, which should then hopefully work. And now your backup plan, if it doesn't work, the next thing I recommend you are to do is to ensure your in-game FPS is actually capped. The reason you should do this and cap your FPS is because of course if you have higher FPS, let's say you play on unlimited, although you may feel you're getting the advantage of lower input lag and latency, your game also has to work a whole lot harder to try and reach those higher frame rates. And as it's actively working harder to do so, it simply can't find that balance, and now all your system's performance is going towards pushing the highest FPS it can. You'll now need to wait longer for those textures to load because in this case predominantly your CPU, as Fortnite is in fact a CPU bound game, will be held too much on satisfying a high frame rate whilst working with your GPU to do the exact same. Whereas if your FPS was to be capped here, the CPU could help hitting whatever frame rate it may be a lot faster than communicating to your GPU, giving it the go to load these textures as it usually should. And I know what you're all thinking, what FPS should I cap at then? Now the rule I've always used for this is to cap at your highest, most stable and consistent frame rate you can get, and then rounding it to what's closest out of these values: 60, 100, 120, 144, 160, 180, 200 and 240. And the fourth and final issue that I've heard is that you guys are claiming that you are getting a great deal of FPS drops with performance mode enabled. So although it may be giving you an overall higher frame rate when you're hitting those peaks, you know, maybe when you're reaching that capped FPS a lot more, it is also unfortunately inducing a lot of stirs and more drops in your FPS. Now this could be because of two things. The first thing would be that you simply need to give the feature more time and play a little more of it. You know, you've never used this before and your game has never rendered textures in such way. It has to kind of learn again and get used to these things in the game, and as it's doing that, your system may need to work temporarily a little harder, and eventually after just a little bit of time, these FPS drops should grow less predominant. And I know that sounds super dumb, but trust me, I noticed this myself and it does work. And now the second reason you could be getting FPS drops, you're actually going to have to wait. And what I mean by that is I'll actually be creating a full in-depth video about that one tomorrow, and trust me, it's big. So yeah, you won't want to miss that, so make sure to drop a like, subscribe, etc. Make some notifications on so you don't miss it. And yeah, with that being said, that's kind of it for this video. I want to wrap it up here. Of course, I know I just mentioned it, but if you enjoyed the video, drop a like, comment down below, all that good stuff. Hopefully this video could help you. You know, if it did, again, let me know down in the comments. I hope everyone has an amazing day. It's been your boy Fxtch, and yeah, peace.